All right, everybody, welcome to Nerds of a Certain Vintage. As always, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Andy.
And we are nerds who are here for our podcast proper for Sunday, January 5th.
Welcome to January.
Welcome to January.
While I'm surreptitiously trying to grab a beer over here. Next thing.
This is our podcast proper, our first of 2025.
Not off to a great start.
Speaking for yourself, this bourbon is really good.
Yeah. That's a plus.
So, this is... we're going to do a little bit, because January is our kind of year in retrospective, where we look back at 2024.
Yep.
And
retrospective January.
This is where we're going to go through the deep dives that we did, and just talk about them a little bit, and let something naturally come that will be our movie for 2025's January.
Last week, for the last weekend of December, our fifth weekend, we talked about all the movies that we watched last year.
Right. Missed one of them.
Yes, we did. We neglected to mention in January of last year that we went to this nostalgia theater in our town and watched Escape from New York.
Yes.
And that was our first deep dive. That's why we bring it up. So, and in all honesty, we're going to go through them all, but we kind of know who's going to win with a bullet.
Of course. And if you've been listening and paying attention to this podcast at all, Jerry, then you know who's going to win too.
We're talking to you, Jerry. You know. But anyway, deep dives.
Yes, deep dive. All right, so
we're going to call this our tangent episode.
Well, what else could it be?
Yeah.
All right,
that's what you get with nerds of a certain vintage.
Yeah,
the inability to stay on task.
So if we go back to January of last year, our deep dive was titled "Drink When Kurt is Sexy."
Exactly.
Actually, we did also the nerd cred goat.
Yeah. So that kind of is going to bury the lead. Guess who's going to be number one with a bullet in our deep dives for this year?
Yeah.
We're not going to reveal it now, but you could probably guess, considering we've only mentioned one.
Take out your scorecard.
Make sure you're scoring at home.
Yeah. Your Nerds of a Certain Vintage bingo card.
Exactly. Remember, that center square is a free one.
Well, that's where Kurt is. What's there to say about Kurt that we haven't already said? He is the GOAT. Surprisingly the GOAT, too.
That one's on YouTube. If you go back and watch it and just find out all the nerd stuff that he is in, his entire career.
Yeah.
From Sky High to
Disney stuff,
to the computer award, tennis shoes, to the world's strongest man. I mean,
I even surprised you by bringing him up as a child star. Yeah.
I mean, it was frankly a little shocking to realize all of the stuff that he's been in that's iconic.
Yeah.
So, Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
It goes on and on and on and on.
The Thing. I was wondering. I heard somebody on a podcast. I don't even
The Christmas Chronicles, for God's sake.
Oh, Lord, yes. Yeah. I don't even remember what podcast it was, but they were trying to decide who was more famous, Kurt Russell or Goldie Hawn. Who do you think would be more famous? All right, February. You remember who we did in February?
What was our movie?
Argyle. Argyle was our movie in February. But we did not talk about anybody in Argyle.
Yeah, okay. Probably wise.
Yeah.
Although we could have done, what was the guy from Moon that was in Argyle?
Yeah, I know. That guy
from The Thing. Yeah. Exactly. We should have done him. No, I have no idea who we did.
Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
No, we did Mila Jovovich.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, our title was Mila Jovovich.
Because we were talking about the him being the GOAT, and we were looking for is there a woman that can compete with her? And I was like, Mila Jovovich could potentially, not quite because she didn't do it long enough. Not like him. She wasn't a Disney kid or any of that stuff, but
right. And I mean, she's got a fairly niche.
Yes. Resident Evil, Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Lilu.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's got some solid cred, but nobody's touching Kurt.
No.
Kurt's solidly in the lead.
The episode title there was Mia Jovovich is the GOAT with an asterisk.
Yeah, pretty large asterisk.
Yeah.
I'm still a huge fan, though.
All right, so in March. Moving on to March.
Yeah.
All right. Any guesses who we did in March?
I don't like the way you said that.
Well, wait until you hear who it was. Then you might be all right.
I can't even imagine. You know what? The deep dives, we'll have to have a conversation about whether to continue to do the deep dives or to change it up again. Because I find those to be the least memorable episodes.
Well, they're okay, but like sometimes you're just sitting there, you're like,
yeah,
here's a random movie none of us have heard about. Here's another random movie none of us have heard about.
Precisely. There's got to be some way to tighten that up a little bit. Or let's go do something else.
If we could find a list of like top 10 Mila Jovovich movies. That kind of thing.
Yeah, that
and
might
make
be
it
better.
A second kind of listicle
there's
deep dive
gotta
kind
be,
of thing.
You're right. I think I like that idea because those lists are always out there.
Yeah, of course.
Plus, they rile me up.
Absolutely.
I know, and you like a list to rile me up.
Right. Like, what does IMDb think we like about Kurt Russell?
Exactly. Overboard, number 1. You son of a bitch.
With a bullet.
Yeah.
Well, it's based on ratings.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, that will definitely rile me up then.
March of last year, Ron Perlman, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. That was the name of the book.
Because he had been in so much stuff that didn't mean anything to anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, we did a lot. We did a bit,
Well, okay, Jerry, just so you know, we're going to change this up. It's not going to be as dull as it has been. Those we're going to shorten them, liven them up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get riled up. You're gonna get to see a lot more of the riled up meter on the videos.
Andy, I just want to get I want to get you to the Hulk out stage.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm eating more protein. I'll wear tighter shirts.
Sure. Yeah. Well, Ron Perlman. The problem was that Ron Perlman, as you said, was one of these guys who has a billion things.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's voice work, a lot of it's nerd cred.
Yeah.
But it just kind of it's the tsunami of it. You just sit there and you're like,
minimalist
goodness.
Nerd cred. Yeah.
But do you remember April? April. What did we deep dive on in April?
Let's see. Who was in that?
We watched Monkey Man.
Oh, okay.
And
well, we watched Godzilla and Kong.
Right.
But I can't. Did we deep dive on Kong?
Our episode was Diving Deep with Stan Lee's Great Big Kong. I don't know. Hey,
what were you thinking?
I love the idea of what these things mean.
It sounds like a dick joke.
It probably was.
Yeah, maybe. Who remembers that episode? Come on.
Who cares to? Yeah.
Then we just go through all the Kong movies?
Probably.
Yeah. See what all he had been in?
Yeah. Well, let's listen to it.
Yeah. Maybe not. No, we're tightening that shit up.
Yeah.
We're tightening that shit up hard this year. It's a new year, 2025. It's going to be our best year ever.
Is it? Well, it almost has to be.
You're right. It would hard for it to be worse. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at the. Sorry, I for those on the video, I don't do prep for these episodes. So
Nor do I.
I'm like 1 month away from what did we do in May? And it was anime.
Right.
So.
But for deep dive, that would be tricky because
we didn't do a deep dive in May.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Fantastic. I think that was a great idea.
Our May episodes are anime that Pat has to watch. This, of course, was the listicle.
Coolly. Oh, okay.
This was the listicle with my son.
Oh, right.
And then we did an episode called Can the Whiny Kick Ass?
Fully Coolly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we talked about that one last week.
And then we did the Horny Jail episode. That was also talking about Fully Coolly.
Oh, okay.
And then we had a ramble. End of anime ramble-ish. Yeah.
There you go. We're going to have to tighten up that anime.
We'd absolutely
Well, it's going to be Anime-April, but so that we can
Anime-April.
So we get a month out ahead of it.
Yeah.
Got the list right here.
Are they anime about apes?
Do you remember?
Can we combine these two things?
No.
There's got to be some
ape-based
anime.
A yearly ape-based month is never going to work.
But if there's anime...
Do you remember what we decided on?
For
the year.
Yeah, it's Anime-April.
No, I mean for all the months.
I don't know. You wrote that stuff down.
January wrap-up.
Right.
Yep. February, Loveruary. March is Patrick's Choice.
Of course.
So it will probably be action-based.
Mm-hmm.
Anime-April.
Anime-April.
May the 4th be with you, Sci-Fi May. June is Andy's Choice.
Right, because it's your birthday.
That's right. July is Blockbuster July.
Right.
Or Action July. August is Apocalypse / Dusty.
Dusty.
That's the month where Pat has to watch Westerns. You agreed to it. I have it on tape. September is
That's not a binding. I did not sign that.
Pretentious.
Pretentious. We want to watch a pretentious movie in September.
That's where we expand our boundaries.
That's right.
I'm looking forward to it. Of course, October is Monstober, and November is Bride of Monstober.
Right.
And then December...
it bleeds over.
Exactly. You can't stop it. It's too big for 1 month. And December is What Did We Miss?
All right. Yeah.
Catch up.
Okay.
And then I started trying to write down some of the inside jokes so that we could go over them. So far, I have 4.
All right, so here's our June episodes from last year.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it, let's go do some crimes.
Yeah, Repo Man, baby.
Yeah. Then our deep dive, character actor deep dive.
Just general character actors, or a specific...
Well, we have the two. We
did.
What's
Stanton, Harry Dean Stanton.
Right.
Yep. One of my favorite character actors.
And then the other character actor we did was the guy from the Horny Jail episode. Like, oh no, that was Fooly Cooley. Yeah, I don't remember.
Harry Dean Stanton's plenty.
Yeah. But it was character actors. Fantastic episode, by the way. Very memorable.
Exactly. So once again, we know who the GOAT is. The character actors are not going to beat Kurt Russell. There's just no way.
Right.
So.
June. We started this with underappreciated and forgotten action in cult films. That's a listicle.
Okay.
Then we did a jet lag ramble. That must have been when I was coming back from
Scotland and such. Yep.
Yeah. Then we had Brilliant or Pretentious. There's lots of cheesy grits. That was a movie.
That was Eraserhead. We talked about that last week. Yeah. Cheesy grits. So nasty. And I love cheesy grits, man.
So we didn't do a deep dive in June, did we? Or was it character actors was June? Yeah, character actor deep dive was in June. July, we started with our movie, Sexy, 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 Murder, Boring, Murder.
I can't remember what that is again.
That was Night Teeth.
Night Teeth, yeah.
So
it was sexy, but also boring, and full of murder.
Yeah, you make a Dracula movie horrible.
Yeah,
a boring
a vampire movie. Well, plus the fact, once again, we talked about the moral ambiguity. Like, am I supposed to be rooting for these these crazy assholes that are just murdering people? Like, I'm supposed to root for them?
What I'm hearing.
Yep.
Andy needs the rule book.
I frequently need. Well, I don't, because I can watch it and be like, you guys do not understand the concept here. For a redemptive arc and likable characters, you can't just be like, oh, he's the main character, therefore the hero, therefore you like him. No. No. It doesn't work that way.
Ideally, you like him because he's likable. Or he does things that you like.
Well, but that's the thing. Well said. He could be. That guy was.
He could be evil, but he does some things that you like.
That guy. But that's the thing. It turns the corner.
I hear my voice pitching up. Like,
you were a little pitchy.
I was a little pitchy. On that one.
It's all right. I liked it. You have a character who was likable, but then when he starts to do morally questionable things, you as a viewer, it's not like, oh, he's likable. We've established that he's likable, so now he's going to do evil shit. Yeah. But you're still going to like him because he's likable. Yeah. No, I'm going to change my mind.
You remember earlier in the movie when you liked him? Now he can kill a dog. You're okay with it.
Exactly. These are not the droids you're looking for. I'm like, no. He starts to do some questionable bullshit. I'm going to really question whether I like that guy. So
you should, you should.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
And I did.
So our next episode in July was our deep dive. It was, who do you think we deep dove in July?
In July.
Given that our movie was Sexy, 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 Murder, Boring, Murder.
Dracula.
Yeah. The episode was Dracula Doink to Doink. I don't remember where these title names come from, but and then
I remember we did a thing on the Universal monsters and That's where we found all these ridiculous, like Dracula, the son of Dracula, which had neither Dracula nor the son of Dracula.
Later.
That was in Monstober. Yeah, but I was just...
No, that might have been even in Bride of Monstober.
It was definitely in Bride of Monstober. We were watching movies in Monstober. But I'm just like, we did Dracula.
Yeah, and we were looking at, like, the filmography of Dracula.
Of Bela Lugosi?
It wasn't just... No, it wasn't Bela. It was, like, just Dracula as a character.
Gotcha.
Then our next episode...
See, I can tell looking back on last year that we were already trying to dress up this, put some lipstick on this pig.
So yes, our next episode, Syrian Western vampires for the win. That's our listicle of vampire movies.
Yes. Actually, that's good because I had that list and your daughter got A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night.
Yes,
and I need to borrow that because I can't find it online.
She rented it from the.
She rented it. I thought she purchased it at some.
No, I think she got it. Well, maybe she did. I don't know.
Yeah. If she bought it, I would.
She gets a bunch of stuff from the library.
Yeah. If she bought it, I would like to borrow it because I can't find it online. Maybe it's on the Criterion Channel. I still got to log into that.
Sure. But. End of July, we did another movie. Is Nosferatu a love story?
Yes.
Yeah.
After watching Night Teeth, we had to cleanse the palate with a movie from like 1926.
Yeah, we were like, let's go find a good one.
Yeah, from 1926. Things have changed.
The OG.
Yeah.
Man, those Germans, they really knew how to fall off a balcony. That girl would have been really hurt.
Yeah.
Like...
Well, I think there were a couple of falls. I mean, I think the current one, Hugh's pretty close, but doesn't Hutter escape the castle by jumping out of a window?
Well, he fell.
Yeah.
Like, the dogs were chasing him. Like, it was like
well, in the current one.
Yeah.
No, he went out onto the ledge, and they were at the door, like trying to, like, just sort of barking at him and snapping, and he. But I don't know that he necessarily fell, or so much as that he was like, "There's no way out. I'm dead," or.
In
this one, no. I mean, it happened very quick. He crawls out on the ledge, but you have to assume that he's just like, where else am I going to go? And then so he
the survival instinct's still pretty like intense. Like, is your first instinct to be like, yeah, I'm going to dive out of here into that icy water down there in basically my pajamas. Got a nightshirt on.
Maybe.
It depends on how.
Yeah, maybe.
It depends on how dangerous those dogs look.
It's like the calculation's gone in your head. Okay, if I stand out here on the ledge and those dogs just sit there, I'm just trapped here in the cold, and I'm going to get tired.
Yeah.
And am I going to be able to swim? It might be better. Tired? It might be better to take the chance now. But no, they didn't. The movie didn't reflect that he had that moment of mental clarity. Reflection. Yeah.
It seemed like he was trying to escape and slipped. That's what I saw.
Yeah.
All right, so August, we start with most post-apocalyptic movie lists don't understand the assignment.
Very much so, man. Most of them are just, we talked about this, they're just dystopian future movies, not necessarily post-apocalyptic movies.
The only one that
like Blade Runner was on the list. I'm like, that's not a post-apocalyptic movie. Maybe there was some kind of a disaster, but they've completely rebuilt.
Yeah, I mean,
is it dystopian? Yes, it's dystopian, but
still. That's like putting a thing on a Christmas movie list. So come on.
It's cold. There's snow. That means Christmas. Dude, I don't know how you celebrate Christmas, you poor sap. I feel bad for your Christmas, man. How do you decorate for Christmas? We wait for the snow.
So our next episode was a movie episode. Holy shnikes, everyone is horrible in this movie.
We mentioned this last week.
Yes.
But now it's gone out of my head again. I mean, A Boy and His Dog, everybody's pretty horrible. But
that's what we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
It says, in this discussion on The Boy and His Dog, Andy and Patrick see no light at the end of this particular post-apocalyptic tunnel.
No.
No one to root for in this particular tale.
No.
There's definitely
They were all crap fest. Not even the dog. you give a little bit to the dog, but he was kind of a dick too. I mean, really.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was.
We were talking about earlier, where they're like, he was likable at the beginning of the movie, so you like him now when he does some hinky shit. This movie didn't even have that. Like, you didn't like any of them even when it started.
Yeah, yet somehow it's like high on the list.
Well, I think it's because it's a very short list. There's just not a lot of. I mean, they were dragging in movies that there was no post-apocalyptic anything. They were just dystopian future movies.
Yeah.
So
our deep dive on that month, I think, is entitled "Is Anyone Worthy of Mount Nerdmore?"
Only.
I think we'd probably try to do Don Johnson and what's his name, the other guy, Jason Robards.
Jason Robards.
Yeah,
when we were talking about character actors, I was trying to think of Jason Robards.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, but in our next episode, post-apocalyptic TV shows. Also, post-apocalyptic TV show lists also don't understand the assignment.
Yeah. Once again, they just do dystopian stuff, not post-apocalyptic. Yeah. There's a difference, man.
Oh Lord!
And potentially that sounds pretentious, but
save it for September.
But pretentious is what we do.
I thought pedantic is what
pedantic is what we do. That's what I meant to say.
I was like, pretentious is what we do in September.
What we will do in September. Pedantic is what we do.
Yeah. So then we get into September. Best buddy movies.
Oh, always so fun.
So much fun.
Was Running Scared in there? It was, wasn't it?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What buddy movie did we watch?
Hard Boiled, baby.
Once again, not really. I love that we watched that movie. Great movie.
Not a buddy movie.
Not a buddy movie. Yeah. There wasn't.
This was your choice. You wanted to do Hard Boiled.
I did. I really wanted to see it, and I'm glad we saw it. But American buddy movies have a whole different vibe.
Yes.
And they pretty much start with the whole buddy concept from the beginning. I think of movies like 48 Hours, which is sort of quintessential. Die Hard, Running Scared.
Die Hard.
Yeah. No. Him and Alan Rickman's character.
Him and Hans Gruber.
They were like that. Absolutely. Hans Gruber.
When they met on the roof, tears, man.
Exactly. So great. I was thinking of Lethal Weapon when you said Die Hard. When you said Die Hard, I was like, yes.
I was thinking of that Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker one. What is that?
It's gone right out of my head. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Shanghai Nights. Yeah, that was the one with him and Owen Wilson.
So our movie episode of that month was Hard Boiled Baby Adventures. Our deep dive, John Woo, woohoo!
Yeah, woohoo! It was nice to go through the John Woo movies.
Yes,
that's where our podcast was entirely educational.
Way, talk about, wackadoo. Like, he's just all over the place.
Yeah. I think he'd be a pretty good... I don't think he works particularly for Blank Check, but there was the time where his movies catapulted him into an area where he was getting big budget films.
Yes.
Yeah. So like Face Off and these various things, and some of those are pretty off the wall.
Face Off, a freaking good buddy cop movie.
Exactly.
Really.
Travolta and Nick Cage, like they were the best of friends.
We finished up. No, we did another listicle there. Best television, best friends forever.
Yeah.
And we ended up with just a ramble during that month. And of course, this brings us into October, where we don't do a deep dive.
I feel like listening to all of this was a very formative year for us. I think we jumped around with listicles and various things because we were really searching for how best.
I like listicles because they have the potential to rile us up.
Right. And there's a certain structure to them that's just automatic.
Right.
Like there's a time limit. You're not going to, once you get to number one, there's not a whole lot more to go, but.
And they give us there's a lot to like about them because they also give us the movie that we want to watch. Well, identifying the movie.
I can't remember when I think we changed that up over the summer.
Yeah, but that was your choice.
It might have been the
change was approved early on.
Change was approved hard.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's a nice structure. But once again, as I said, so changing the deep dive into a sort of a listicle episode is also, I think, will be helpful. And then the only thing we need to clean up is the media club, which is a little bit of an outlier.
Yeah, because we haven't been watching a lot of media together.
Yeah.
To talk about. Because, look.
Well, I'm
not going to watch K-dramas. I'm just not. I'm not going to do it.
You do not know what you're missing, man.
Clearly, that's true. Although I did start watching Squid Game season 2.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Well, that's an outlier too, man. That's a whole different ball of wax. That thing. But plus we do the midweek minute and stuff and the what are we watching. So adjacent. So we don't necessarily need to talk about like a media club where we talk about what we're watching.
We could just
together.
put a ramble in every month. We could just replace the media club with a ramble and have that be where we just catch up on stuff.
I'm throwing it out there so that we can both kind of think about what to change.
Where'd my ice go?
It tends to do that, man. It's magic. Physics is kind of magic. So,
I seem to have more bourbon.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, you're throwing this out there. What's the change
what we changed the fourth week to?
Yeah. What is this?
Well, Media Club was always sort of a catch-all, just like let's talk about something that we didn't get a chance to talk about during the month.
But we talk about stuff. Like,
We have a couple of other episodes to sort of talk about stuff. So we got to think about something to bring to the table for the fourth week. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
So
I'm not going to do that. You know that. I'm not going to do that.
Okay, I'll think about it. That's my job.
All right. So, starting Bride of Monstober, we did Universal Monster movies ranked, mostly not BS.
That, in all honesty, man, the Universal Monster movies back in the day were so popular. They churned out a bunch of garbage.
Oh, yes.
Man, and they would just put the name on it, like I mentioned it, the Son of Dracula, which involved neither Dracula nor a son. It was, God knows what that. It was just apparently a random vampire film, but they had to throw the Dracula name on it. I can
almost guarantee that there was some Hollywood executive who was like, "Fuck it, let's just put the name on there."
Yeah. People will come to see it, and they will be disappointed, but they will plunk their money down. It's nice to see that nothing changes in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Those idiots will come if we name it right.
And then the movie podcasting. It's my only weakness.
That was so I wrote the list of the sayings that came up this. It's not an exhaustive list. I've missed so many things, but it's my only weakness is on the list. I love that.
That's here to stay.
Yeah. And then the guy from that thing.
Dr. Pretorius.
That guy from that thing. And the Patism. So far, I've only written down everything happens in space. Every day is a date. All words are made up. All right, there may be more, but I haven't found them yet.
Our final deep dive of 2024, because we did not do one in December.
Okay.
Our final deep dive. You got any guesses?
Was it Boris Karloff?
It was the three, the big three.
The big three.
Three. Yeah.
So Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi, and Lon Chaney Jr.
Lon Chaney Jr. Yeah. Lon Chaney Jr. was the athlete who was just like, yeah, I show up occasionally.
I'll show up here and stare at women through telescopes and be horny and stuff. I've got that look.
Well, hey, don't we all?
Well, we all wish we did.
Hey.
Anyway.
All right, so we've talked about our month-to-month schedule, which is fine. Do you have an idea about what we replace?
I just poured a beer. We got to drag this out, man.
I'm ready to drag it out. I'm good.
You still have some? Yeah,
I still have bourbon.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure out. And listen, there was ice in there, so I can't quite tell whether it was 2 fingers or not.
It wasn't.
It was over 2
You
fingers.
should probably have a splash more.
I'm not
just to get some, just get some flavor in there.
No, thank you.
Apparently, I'm a pusher too, just like your wife.
Yes, except you're pushing alcohol.
Yeah.
So let's decide on what we're going to do with the media club. Let's brainstorm this a bit.
Sure.
Perfect use of our podcasting time.
Everybody's gonna love to listen to this garbage.
No, I like the idea.
Well, the nice thing about the video is I can just cut all this garbage out. So yeah.
So we start with the listicle to determine what
Have
movie
you noticed that I say garbage now instead of shit? Like
you just said shit. You just said shit.
Well, as an object example,
Okay.
I am a cursing machine. Like I am just like a constant flow of obscene words just ripping out of my mouth. You're the reason
I have to put the explicit tag on all our podcasts.
Wisely done. I think that's smart. I think it's because during my job, I have to essentially be on the phone with people that I think are idiots, and then I have to act like I don't think they're idiots. Mm-hmm. And it's such a repression of like the honesty of me that when I get in the podcast, I'm just ripping them.
I'm okay.
I'm ripping them out.
Just
no,
listen,
but I don't want to. I don't want to do this to Jerry. I mean, I think Jerry deserves a little bit of.
I think Jerry likes it.
No, Don't you talk about my Jerry.
Jerry, let us know in June.
Exactly. No, I think a certain amount of etiquette. And maybe one day you can take the explicit tag off the podcast. That's never going to happen.
I always put it on here because I don't remember whether we cursed or not.
Well, let's be fair. You don't remember if I cursed or not. You don't curse that often.
I curse sometimes.
You occasionally throw a curse out there.
But I'll drop a fuck.
Yeah. See, but it's once again right there. It's jarring. It's shocking. Yeah. Me.
I like to shock people.
Yeah, me. It's like every other word. I'm just trying to fit in more curse words. So I'm trying to changing it up to say shirt balls and effing and garbage and all this
that
thing.
never worked, man.
It's not as much fun.
That is that's like putting your feet right on the line.
No, I'm trying to be.
New Year's resolution.
You know what it is? I'm trying to be more respectful to your mom.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, I don't want Mom to dislike me because
my mom curses like a sailor.
I'm the filthy mouth guy. Well, that's her prerogative.
Have you ever met my mom? You've got to.
Briefly. I've met your dad a couple times, but I've only met your mom in passing one time. I think one time. So, yeah.
All right.
There you go. But Media Club.
So, no. We start with a list to determine what movie we watch.
Right.
Then we do a deep dive on a character, but we're changing the deep dive to be like a modified listicle of that character.
Like the top 10 things they've been in.
Unless some of them you can just go into IMDb and like look at.
Well, in all honesty, we found that there's a list for everything. You go online and every list you might want is there.
And most of them are garbage.
Exactly, which will be so much fun.
Absolute garbage.
Because I will be like, but it
like that IMDb garbage list that we had last time.
I am prepared to have to do a little bit of research on the list, on the deep dive, and just roll through like the full IMDb list and say what are my top 10 sort of nerd things that I know this person for. Yeah. And then when we go on to whatever, IMDb or whatever Vulture, whatever, what is that one that has the lists all the time?
Screen Rant? Was it Screen Rant?
Screen Rant does a bunch of lists, but there's another it's like Rumble, or is that the sex website?
I don't know.
there's some website that does like they're all about lists.
We love.
But if I if I do my own list and then we go through there and they're just like, this. The best thing he's known for is this like bullshit romance.
This that he Syrian was in. Western vampires.
Yeah. The Syrian woman who drowned her teenage daughter for some reason movie.
I need to go back and find that list. Just to see. I want to watch all the movies on that particular list.
Oh my God. Please don't make me do that. I mean, March is Patrick's choice. So if he wants to make me watch Syrian women drowning their children, then, and at the end
I've got an idea. At the
end of that movie, I'll be like, that was better than Nosferatu.
I've got an idea for March already.
Okay. Yeah. I cannot wait. Don't tell me. I don't want the surprise to be ruined.
They call me Bruce.
I get that confused with My Name is Bruce, which is the Bruce Campbell movie. Maybe I'll make you watch that in June.
Hey, I'm up for that.
Yep.
The Great Chin.
Now, I want to watch. If I'm going to make you watch a Bruce Campbell weird movie, it's going to be Bubba Hotep.
All right.
So.
Yeah. So I'm revoking my idea of just having it be a ramble because I do like holding off on a ramble for those months when we have a fifth week.
Yeah.
That's
what will we do?
It's just a nice thing,
Yeah. What will we do if we have if we've already done
another ramble?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That's ridiculous.
We only have so many things to say.
Well, that's not entirely true.
Yeah. Patrick says 6 years into this podcast.
We can always find new things to say.
How much do you think we repeat ourselves? Do we tell the same stories over and over again?
I've not noticed us telling the same stories over again. Once in a while, it ends up being new stories.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested to see how far we can go before we start repeating stories. And but will anybody remember them? Will anybody notice them? Because it's been you remember this story that I'm repeating that I told 5 years ago? Is anybody who of our very few listeners, do you think anybody's going to remember it?
Probably
not.
Probably
that's
not.
A super fan.
Nobody cares enough.
That's for sure. Now I'm sad.
All right, so if we're keeping the ramble as like a 3 times a year thing or 4 times a year thing, then we have to have something to fill that 4th week.
Right.
All right?
Yeah, the Media Club was kind of just a filler.
Well, we started it out when we were thinking, yeah, let's watch the same thing. Like, we'll watch The Penguin, and we'll talk about that. Or something like that. But...
we can always watch the second movie.
We could watch the second movie, but, like...
well, you know what we could do, maybe?
Maybe we could watch a separate movie. Watch a movie, like, the same movie, but apart from each other, and come back together and be like, what did you think of that movie?
That might
what
be
kind of notes did you take?
I was also thinking, like, in a lot of genres, there's TV shows to watch, too. And we could watch, like, a first episode of a TV series.
Okay.
Separately or together. And
yeah.
Because that's just an hour, depending on what it is. It's the only thing is...
or a half hour.
Some of them are kind of hard to find. These days with streaming, it's a little bit easier.
You can always find something on YouTube.
Yeah. And, I have kind of always wanted to bring a little bit more TV into our thing. That was what the Media Club was sort of intended to do, but it didn't necessarily work that way because it's hard to carve out the time. Especially, like, you watch The Prisoner. Yeah. I would love to watch The Prisoner if we'd done that as an episode.
The Prisoner is perfectly reasonable if there's like 13 episodes of it.
Yeah, but I have so much K-drama to watch.
That's the thing. Like, if we had just, like, hey, we're going to watch this one episode of this TV show. Like, I do not feel the need to get into, like, Walking Dead because there's like 80,000 episodes of that show. Yep. And I don't want to watch 80,000 episodes of a zombie movie or a show that I don't really care about.
Yeah.
But if we were like, yeah, we're going to like
watch the first episode.
Yeah, and Love Brewery. What's a great Love Brewery TV show?
Love Boat.
Love Boat's pretty good. Yeah. Anything with Charo in it.
Love American Style.
All right, so Action July. Greatest American Hero?
I'm down. I haven't watched that in fucking ages. Effing ages.
Yeah, we might have to, like, track things down. That's the thing. But I can almost guarantee that this stuff is available on YouTube. You can just, like, it's not going to be great quality.
TV shows are a little less, like, overtly protected than movies are.
Right.
Yeah.
There's some things that they're just like, yeah, let's put it out there.
Yeah, if you want to watch an episode of this, maybe even the first episode, sure.
But we might even be able to incorporate that into the listicle and just be like, let's at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the month, like, what TV shows might we want to watch and do the top 5 or something like that.
Yeah. All right.
Change approved?
We've got a plan. Change approved.
Yeah.
Ron spoken. Wrap it up, nerds.
All right, well, the dame has spoken, so it is time for us to wrap it up. As always, I've been Mary.
And Bob is damp.
Bob's not. Bob's moist at best.
Yeah, Bob is my pug.
He's a little dank.
He got a bath today. Yes. I don't know what it is about his fur, but it holds on to water like nothing else. It's impossible to dry him. Yeah, he smells good.
Does he, though?
He does.
All right, bye.
You guys are weird.